Hello there, you beautiful listeners. His name's Aaron,
And his name is Tommy.
and this is the Superpod Saga, episode 6 of the Superpod Saga specifically. This is the podcast where Aaron and I talk about every video game topic under the sun. We leave no leaf unturned.
That's right, we're turning up all them leaves. You better hide your rakes, people.
These leaves are getting turnt! And, Aaron, what you picked the topic for today. What's your super exciting, totally cool topic you picked for this episode?
We're talking about video game soundtracks.
So for you, video game music is like, would you say that's one of the most important parts of a video game to you?
I'd say so, sort of. It can make even like the most bland, mediocre games stand out. So and it's also good to just jam out while you're playing.
And for me, I've noticed through these like 20 years of gaming that I often don't even remember music after I'm done playing a game. But I will say I was surprised. I went and looked at like top lists for music, and I came up with a whole bunch of music that was like, oh yeah, that was really good music. So I do have stuff I'm excited to talk about. But since this is your topic, you go first.
Okay, awesome. Well, so it's the first one that I think about when I think of maybe like my favorite soundtracks is for sure Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Mm.
Um, I think I've recommended a couple of their songs to you, but oh my gosh, the world map theme on that game is just so chilled and just awesome. Um, but I get most of it is like maybe like 80s synth
Oh
mixed with
yes.
some like heavy metal here and there, and it's just like it sounds wild, but yeah, if you go on like YouTube and you can just look up like the boss battle theme for, and instead of typing in Shin Megami Tensei, 'cause it's a mouthful, you can just type in SMT4. But there's a lot of really awesome tracks on that thing. Definitely check it out.
I haven't ever thought about this until right now, but how like the Shin Megami Tensei is like where you captured demons, devils, and they're is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yep,
like
that's right.
even just going with that thing that's like okay, make music for this, and I'm not sure where you'd start, but 80s synth mixed with some heavy metal sounds great.
I think they usually try to do it in the tone of like the environment kind of, because in 4 it was like well, I guess they all take place in post-apocalyptic Tokyo, but this one was um it's a little different from like other Shin Megami Tenseis that also take place in Tokyo.
Nice. The I again I like made a list of music and I was like, oh, each one of these I could make an argument for like being one of the best soundtracks of all time in my opinion. So the first one I'm gonna do, Red Dead Redemption 2. Um,
Awesome.
it obviously it's a Western game, takes place in the early 1900s, and what I like about it it isn't just like music that sets the tone. It isn't like here's your old timey banjo. It's like actual full on music that would have existed at that time, and it's so good. It just sets the tone perfectly. It's one of the few, very few music soundtracks that I've listened to in my free time, and I got really weird with it because in Red Dead Online, before you can take a job, you have to make money your own way. So I was like a delivery person, so I would just take packages and deliver them. And in real life, I've been delivering for DoorDash, so I spend all day door dashing, listening to the Red Dead Redemption soundtrack, just drive around like I'm a cowboy making deliveries so I can get a real job.
That's so weird that you said on the online you have to take like little jobs before you can play online, or
Yeah,
is that?
it's a mess because you have to pay real money to get a real job, or you can spend hours and hours and hours doing little tiny things for people to save up money.
What?
And then I
That's
got
wild.
and then I got real jobs and they weren't fun anyway, so I just stopped playing. But the music, really good.
That's how you know it's good, when you listen to it in your spare time. I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure I've sent you my chill tunes playlist like 50,000 times, but I have a whole list of chill ass video game tunes.
Yeah, such as
Well, you remember from last episode about like controllers when I was mentioning that I beat the absolute shit out of my bumpers playing Killer Instinct on Xbox One?
Yes.
Well, yeah, that also has a super dope fucking soundtrack. And again, it's I swear not all of these are gonna be like heavy metal, but this one just slaps the absolute shit out of you. Just on the title screen, it's wild. Like for a fighting game, usually you would think it'd be like techno or like something like that, but no, this game is like sometimes the on the stages you're fighting, if you're doing, I forget what they're calling, it's like a hyper combo or something like that. They'll time like the beats of the music to your hits to your opponent and stuff, and that's super cool. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, just the main theme alone is super duper good. But then there's also like tracks to the different stages and stuff, and those are also all good. I'm pretty sure you can get them anywhere, like on Spotify and stuff. But yeah, dude, Killer Instinct was so good in like every way.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. I forgot to ask how many games do you have in your list so that I can know how many I should pick.
I have seven.
Okay, excellent,
Okay.
excellent. My second pick, another one of the very, very, very few soundtracks I've listened to in my spare time, Hotline Miami. Oh,
Ooh.
it's the actual game Hotline Miami is super weird and just has its definitely has its own unique flavor, styling, and the music totally captures that too. Like I don't even know how you say what genre the music is in because it's just so completely out there and matches everything perfectly. And it's got that tone, that weird, gross tone. I love it.
Gross. I've come across that game a lot when I on my search for chill video game tunes,
Have you listened to it
and
or played it?
I haven't played it. I think I've listened to a couple songs. I'll download a couple after this though.
Yeah, I'll find a specific one that I really like and send it to you, not on the podcast.
Wasn't that the game that had the person with the chicken head or something like
Oh yeah,
that?
uh
Or
huh. Yeah, you had different animal masks that gave you different abilities.
no shit, that's cool as hell.
I picked the one, I believe it was the horse mask, where whenever you'd open a door and it touches someone, it automatically kills them.
That's some real Fallout sounding shit. I'm gonna have to check that out. I
It's
had
so
no idea
good.
this man. That's cool. Um, Man, speaking of just blasting bits, remember, I forget which episode it was, we were talking about Grindstone. I'm
Grindstone.
pretty sure that was Hidden Gems, but yeah, I can't say enough about that goddamn soundtrack because it slaps, but like in a chill way. Like it's 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 for sure available on YouTube Music. I don't know if it's on Spotify or anything, but yeah, it's just every single track is just super chill and super good if you're just like doing homework or like I'll do it while I'm doing work, like slapping out emails or whatever. But it's great. It's awesome. I love it, especially the what is it called? Lunchbox. Yeah, Lunchbox is what it's called. That's my favorite one right there.
I'll say it again if you didn't listen to when we talked about Grindstone in the last episode. I played it on my phone with my sound off, so I've never heard any music from Grindstone. But I'm
You
sure
missed out.
I
Hella
know.
missed out.
I'll definitely. You got to remind me to check it out when I'm like out in the world driving, because that's when I have time to listen to stuff.
I will. I'll send you the playlist again.
Yeah, send it again, but in the afternoon. Okay, my next one. I'm gonna make a prediction. I think this is the only game that we both have on our list. I'm gonna say it right now.
Ooh.
I picked the music from Undertale.
I actually didn't have that. I should have.
Wow, yeah, you should have. What are you
It does
thinking?
have some good tracks though. Holy shit. That game.
Megalovania. I'm gonna say Megalovania is the best video game song out of all the video
have you
game
listened
songs.
to have you listened to Death by Glamour?
Is that a song in the Undertale soundtrack?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Then,
that's the name.
then
But,
yes, I have. I don't know the names of the songs aside from Megalovania.
oh my gosh, yeah, I could play like the whole song like in my like just like it's like dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun,
yeah, oh
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
I remember when that happens in the game. I think that's what's really good about the Undertale soundtrack is like you hear the music and you can picture exactly where it is in the game. And I like how a lot of it, I didn't realize this until I listened to the soundtrack one day. A lot of it is like the same, I don't know the musical term. It's like the same melody or the same notes or whatever, but just rearranged in a different way based on what's happening in the game. And I thought that was super cool when I
That is
recognized
super
that.
cool. That's cool as hell. And that game, like, that game had no good reason to just slap so hard with soundtrack like that. Because I think when you start the game, isn't it like 8-bit? It's like boop boop
Yeah.
boop over the
Yeah.
main menu,
Yep.
and then you play through the game and get all the way down to Sans with Megalovania, and they have your fucking headbanging to that shit.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And now Toby Fox is making the music for Pokemon. So how's that
Oh
for
yeah,
going from just making a random indie game to literally making the music for Pokemon?
dude, could you imagine battling your like level 100 Rapidash against like a Blastoise or some shit, and then Megalovania comes on, and you're like, fuck yeah.
I can't I can't imagine that because that's a terrible matchup. I wouldn't put Rapidash up against Blastoise.
Oh, those are the first two that came to mind.
I'm not an idiot.
All right, my bad. Let's do we'll do something less terrible. We'll do Vikavolt. That's an obscure one for you. Vikavolt versus
yeah.
Blastoise.
Oh, I thought you were saying a game. I was like, I've
Oh
never
no,
heard.
that's a Pokemon.
Is he the bug? Yeah, he's the cool looking bug one. I like him.
Yeah, that's Gen 7, baby.
Gen 7.
The next one I have is Eastward, and this one,
Oh.
like, it's so wild because the game still kind of left a sour taste to me because there was like a billion unanswered questions, but the soundtrack is still super duper good. There was it was sort of like chiptune-y, but then there was also some more like acoustic tracks to it. But there was like the shop thing for when you go into Johnny's shop. That one's really good. I'm trying to track down my playlist right now. I'm just gonna keep talking and wasting time. There we go. Oh yeah, Black Train, for when you're on that train with all those monkeys or whatever. That's a good one. Yes, there's a train with monkeys, and they talk, and they have a little TV show that they produce on the train.
Nice.
Wow, what an awesome game. It would have been better if the story didn't cop out like it did, but the playlist was really good at least. So there's
Yeah.
that.
The music is good forever.
It is, yeah. We'll never understand exactly what the fuck Solomon is or what killed the scientist chick, but whatever. It's good.
Do they look
Next.
like? Do they look like they're gonna make a sequel, or like did it leave it open for a sequel?
Kind of, yeah. Hopefully they do. That'd be cool, or just like an expansion, maybe anything at all that would give me so help me sleep at night, please. I just want to be able to sleep and eat and then live my life again without wondering like why was there 3 songs? What the hell?
Someday. My
Someday.
my next song is the video game version of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which
Oh,
is a game that I hated. I am the biggest
really?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World fan. I own like 3 different copies of the movie. I got all the graphic novels. I adore everything about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Did not care for the game because I don't know. I just don't like beat 'em ups. I just
I
get
get that.
I get no joy from playing beat 'em ups. It's not a fun genre to me. I wish it was because there's so many fun ones. But the music in Scott Pilgrim versus the World is the most video game ass video game music by Anna Monoguchi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's
Sounds right, yeah.
that's another one that I've listened to in my free time because it's just like it's the perfect video game music for that era / style or whatever. It's so good.
That was a good one though. I remember getting that on the 360, like forever ago. And yeah, that one. I don't remember like maybe like one song, and that was like when you're in a shop buying something or something. But yeah, that was really good. But yeah, the next one I have is it's definitely a surprising one because you probably never ever heard me talk about this game, but it's one that kind of recently discovered is really good, and that's Sonic CD.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of really good tracks on that one. I think they all have them on like Spotify and YouTube Music as well. Um, but there's different versions of songs, and the ones that I really enjoy are I think they're like the G mix, and it's just like different mixes of different stage tunes,
Oh, neat.
and the G mix are just like super chilled out and like and then super synth. Well, I guess they're synthy on their own, but um, yeah, dude, Sonic CD. It was I never played the game, but the soundtrack sure is good as hell.
Did you, maybe I was the only person in the dark on this, but did you know that Michael Jackson made the music for Sonic 3?
Oh yeah, and I think
But he was
weren't,
uncredited.
weren't- yeah, weren't they still like investigating that or something? Like it's just been one long thing, I think.
Yeah, and because of that, they can't have, because they're doing a re-release of the games or something, or a collection or whatever, and they can't have the
Yeah.
music because they can't get the okay from Michael Jackson's
Oh,
estate.
oh yeah, damn. Well, whatever, I guess. Make
Just
them
just such a
make them
weird
techno
thing.
weird.
I would have never
Hey,
guessed
like
that Michael
why?
Jackson was super into video games, but I guess he was.
Did you? Oh, he had that. He had his own video. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's had other video games, but he had that one video game. I think it was like on Sega Genesis where you're just like moonwalking all over the place and
Yeah, yeah.
like dancing fools to death and stuff. Man, what a what a goofy time.
Do you think we'll ever be big enough to have our own video game?
And hell yeah! If the angry video gamer guy can get a video game, why can't we?
Yeah, exactly. But we're not going to be angry. It's going to be chill and like you just collect things and have a fun time.
Then we'll throw mangoes at enemies and
Yeah.
collect no, we're not gonna collect coins or anything like that. We'll collect I don't know.
I vote for
What's a cool
cheese curds.
collectible? Oh yeah, that sounds. Oh man, I love cheese curds.
Me too. Um, Another thing I love is when games use music to, gosh, I don't know, signify something important, and that's done really well in the Outer Wilds. The Most of the time, the music is your typical spacey stuff with your spacey themes because you're in space, and but the whole plot of the game is every 22 minutes the universe ends and you have to start over from the very beginning. And as you're going through, like, you'll go into these planets and all around and everything, and you can easily lose track of time. But when you have a couple of minutes left, the music changes and starts playing this like end of universe theme. And so you'll be like running around to a place trying to solve mysteries, and the music starts with the ba ba, and you're like, shit, no, not yet, not yet. I need to go do this. I need to do this, and you start like running. It's just so good.
That's such a cool premise for a game. You said it's every like 22
Yep,
minutes.
yep.
That is super cool.
And there's no like checkpoints. You always start at the very beginning of the game, and you have to go and explore planets and solve mysteries in 22 minutes.
Do you have to? So if you go and check out one planet and then the universe ends, do you have to go back to that same planet again and like re-explore it, or is
Yeah.
that planet
Yep.
just gone?
No, no, everything goes back. It goes back in time 22 minutes essentially.
Does it give you enough time to explore a planet all the way?
Not sometimes. It depends on if you find the right paths and right entrances and stuff. It's like a
Neat.
learning thing.
Right on. Well, speaking of learning, what an awful transition. Bomberman Hero was my next favorite soundtrack, and again, I've never played the game. I remember your everybody knows Bomberman Hero just because the soundtrack was so dope, which is another good example of like an alright game that had like an above like a way above expected soundtrack, and that thing just slaps like the song Redial. Holy shit! I think I said that to you in our little chat before, but
Hmm.
that whole game's soundtrack is just it's super chilled out and upbeat and super good.
Is this a Bomberman platformer?
Yeah, I think it was the first one actually. It was on N64.
Huh.
Maybe it was the second. Uh, like I
Interesting.
remember, there's a dude I watch on YouTube again, Nitro Red. Check him out, he's good. He reviewed Bomberman Hero, and yeah, he was the one that mentioned that the game was all right, the soundtrack is super good, and so I went and downloaded like there's entirely too many songs in the soundtrack to begin with, but I mean they're all good, so yeah, it takes up like most of my chill tunes playlist.
Nice. I think it says something to make chill music that's actually good to listen to, because I feel like it could be really easy to make a boring chill song. So making a chill song that you like seems like an achievement to me.
Oh yeah, yeah, like especially when you look up any kind of like lo-fi like chill hip hop tunes songs on like whatever the hell streaming service you or not streaming, whatever the hell music service you're using, like a lot of times it'll just be the same thing maybe, but with like different styles of drums. I don't know music stuff, but um,
Neither of us actually knows anything about music. We're just like, these songs make my brain happy.
I think
um,
no, it's good.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna say the specific YouTuber because I'm gonna make fun of him here, but they made a chill lo-fi beats to relax study to, but then they like overdubbed it with motivational things they said during different video game streams throughout the whole thing, and I was like, "That's who's this for?"
Stupid. If if you're gonna make a chill down tune, you don't need to put like vocals or like words
I
into it. Yeah.
know, I know. I just can't imagine studying in college and being like, "Yeah, thank you, funny video game man. I can do it."
I can, I can hear it now, dude. It's just like it's like, and he's just like, you can do it.
No, it's not. Definitely not screaming. Stop giving up, you quitter!
Get that PhD if you try.
I got one out of left field. I hope this counts because it's not technically from a game.
Okay.
Every single song from the Wii system menu, the shop
Oh no,
music, the
the definite.
good. It's got I have no idea what instrument it is, but I absolutely adore the. It's almost like a little toy piano. It's like da 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 da, and it gets stuck in my head endlessly. Um,
That's probably why they have so many covers of the the me creator thing on YouTube because it's like, those songs do get stuck in your fucking head though. They're super duper catchy.
they're the most Nintendo songs Nintendo's ever made. Um, that little piano, the main music making. I have no idea what it's called, but the first time I heard Hotline Bling by Drake, he uses that same instrument in the background, and I listened to that song just for those parts that used the little piano. I've never listened to any other song by Drake, but I was like, this reminds me of the Wii system, the Wii menu music.
I was gonna say I don't think I could ever see you listening to Drake, but oh, that's cool though that he has that in there. To add on to to your Wii thing though, that the 3DS has some
Add on to my
good.
Wii.
Yeah, it's got like the when you go to change like sometimes I'll just go into the settings and just let it let it sit there because it's oh, I'm still trying to think of it right now. It's like boom 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 boom
Oh
boom boom. And
yes, yes.
then you go to change the internet settings and it's even chiller. Oh,
You gotta change the internet settings.
you can just I'll go change my DNS settings, but then just totally jam out. Wait, did you have another one, or were you gonna?
I have
No, you.
I have a few.
Okay, I have. You can go with another one. I have one, kind of two more.
I'm going to pick. I'm just going to say real quick two specific songs that I
Okay.
think should get recognized. The first one is the main theme from Civilization 4. It's called Baba Yetu, I believe is how it's pronounced. Um, it's first of all, it is a really good song. It's great. It's wonderful. It's the kind of music I'd never listen to in my own time. But it also needs to be recognized because it's the only song from a video game to ever win a Grammy. And I think that
Really?
yeah, yeah. Um, I don't remember what year it won or anything, but the guy who composed it was college roommates with the guy who made Civilization, so he asked him to make a song for it, and it was like, you could argue maybe the best video game song ever made since it won a Grammy.
Oh, and you said it's from Civ 4?
Yep.
All right. I guess I'll name a single song too. Then it's called Eternal Rest, and that's from the original Silent Hill, and it's another chill tune. But check that one out. That's also super duper good. And you wouldn't expect it being from a Silent Hill game to be super chilled, but I think it was like
No.
when you beat the or something. Yeah, it's good as hell. YouTube it when you have a chance.
YouTube it, listeners. Don't do it until you're done listening to us, though.
Don't you dare pirate that shit. Um, I guess. Oh yeah, no, I just named one, so now it's your turn.
Okay. Uh, the pause menu from Super Mario Strikers Charged. the
I don't remember that.
Oh, it's understandable. The rest of the game, like all the menu and stuff, is like this bombastic sports music. It's like ba ba da 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 da, and then as you're playing the game, like screaming and yelling at each other, and you pause the game, it's just an elevator music song. It's just like the most quiet, chill thing. Every time I pause the game, it would make me laugh because it's just like the most chillest elevator music in the middle of all this chaos.
Was it like Kenny G like
Probably. I haven't listened to Kenny G in I don't know how long.
I only know Kenny G for that one song because like every single company has that as their hold music, I think.
Really?
I'm just joking. I wish they all had it. I remember like I think it was like Motorola had it one time. Like when I broke my Moto X or the hell like 30,000 years ago.
Moto X. Did you have the Razor in high school like everyone else did?
No, no, my like first like actual cell phone was the Samsung Hue, and I thought it was cooler, but looking back, I was a joke. But no, the Samsung Hue was my first like flip phone, and I thought it was
Oh yeah, other people had those too. Yeah, I always felt super uncool because I didn't have the Razor like 90% of the people in our school had.
oh, you didn't?
No, I never had a Razor. My first phone was a track phone. Kids listening, you used to have to pay like
Mm-hmm.
a certain amount per text message sent.
Oh yeah, what a time, dude.
I definitely used that up real quick. And you would buy cards like, oh, you can send 100 text messages with this card. Ugh.
What'd you get after that? Like you must have had something else after the track phone.
I'm trying to. Yeah, yeah. I definitely had a different phone in high school. It was. I know. Gosh, I'm not sure if it was in high school or freshman year of college. I had a BlackBerry. No, I
Oh,
had it in high school. I had it in high school. Yep, I had a black.
nice.
It was a little one, and it was like the half size one, so it was like 2 letters per keyboard button. I miss actual keyboards on phones. I was so much faster and
Uh,
better with those. And
oh yeah, dude. Did
man,
you?
sorry, go on.
Sorry. Yeah, did you ever have one of those like what is it called? It was like the Samsung Intensity, but like it's one of those phones where like at first there's like an actual phone had like a numerical pad, and then you could hold it sideways and slide it up, and it had that big ass keyboard. Like those were cool as hell.
Yeah, yeah. I never had one of those, but I've definitely seen them. Gosh, I was so good at typing T9, which
Yeah, dude.
again, kids, we used to not have keyboards at all and had to use the 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9, and like you would tap 3 times for a letter, 2 times for another letter. Oh, Oh,
We didn't even have
we
touch
were
screens or
cavemen.
touch screen phones that long ago.
No, the first touchscreen I had was a Palm Pre Plus, which they don't even make phones anymore. It was like a little clamshell that slid out and had the keyboard. I loved that thing.
Should we? Yeah, we should talk about cell phones one of these episodes.
Yeah,
We
and
could go
cell
on
phone
and on.
games. I remember the first cell phone game I played was on my parents' old Motorola. I have no idea what Motorola it was because it was ancient. It had the antenna that you pulled out of the top because you had to pull the antenna out to make a phone call, and the screen was only black and white, and it had a kart racing
Yep.
game, and you would either stay in the middle or you'd hit left to go in the left lane or right to go in the right lane, and there was like oil spills and stuff. That was like mind blowing to me at the time because it also had Snake. Every phone had to have Snake.
Yeah, everyone had Snake.
Every... how has no one made like we're bringing Snake back? Snake is back and it's hardcore than ever.
And make it just black and white too. Like obviously the Snake being white. Just bring back Snake, dude.
Who owns Snake?
That's is it? I thought it maybe was it Atari? Isn't it like the same thing as like Centipede or some shit?
I have no idea. Centipede is like a crazy game.
Oh,
I watched my dad
don't
play
like
it in an arcade, and I did not understand what was happening. And by an arcade, I mean the bowling alley in Hayward.
I remember. Holy shit! I played so much that Need for Speed arcade game at the Pizza Ranch in Hawarden. Oh man, that was
the
good.
the Walmart in Sioux Center used to have a Guitar Hero machine, and that made me so happy. I wasted so much money in that thing.
Oh man, those they still have those at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah,
They have
I've been to Chuck E.
they
Cheese.
have one in the Dave and Buster's here in town. So if I ever venture to Dave and
Nice.
Buster's, I spend all my time and money at the Guitar Hero machine.
You don't have to buy any food or drinks. You're just like,
I shove the kids out of the way. There's no kids playing Guitar Hero. That's not true.
you're just sober. That's true. Yeah, they're all trying to play like Fortnite on their phone. You're just sober as the day and night, and you're just jamming to some slow ride or something.
No, they have why do I know this? Let me Google it real quick to make sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure it has exclusive songs,
Oh,
which is why there was specific. Yep, okay. Almost Easy by Avenged Sevenfold
oh
is
yeah.
only, I believe, only in the arcade game, and there was another one too. Oh well.
Also, is it about time for an ad break?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, yeah, so this episode is brought to you by Stevie Bros Pet Rocks. They're pet rocks bred for excellence, harvested from the quality gravel roads between small Midwest towns. They're the best in their class at heart-stopping tricks such as sitting still, holding down pieces of paper in the wind, and breaking glass. Again, that's Stevie Bros Pet Rocks. They're rocks.
We got Stevie Rose Pet Rocks. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, huge brand, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Wow, you can really tell that
Small.
we're growing as a podcast when we're advertising for the rocks.
Dude, they're only the best. I mean, they're so good at holding down my inhuman stacks of paper. It's unreal. Those vents will get you.
I'm gonna break so many windows with Stevie's Pet Rocks.
They're the best at it. I mean, that's if it was an Olympic sport, dude, Stevie Bros would be. You'd see their brand slapped all over it with little googly eyes on a rock and everything.
Someday. I actually had Guitar Hero 3 on my list specifically because it really, really influenced my musical taste for a long time. I
Yeah.
discovered so much music that I never would have discovered before, and my the bands I listen to, the music I listen to, like all of it is basically direct. You could draw a direct line to Guitar Hero 3.
But yeah, so about Guitar Hero, I started with Guitar Hero 2. I don't think I played like the original Guitar Hero until maybe like 5 years after 3 came out. It was when I got graduated. It was at like a buddy's house, and all he had was the original Guitar Hero, and I was like, dude, this sucks.
It does. It really does. Going back to it, it's awful.
And they like I think like the hardest song they had on there was like "Bark at the Moon" by Ozzy Osbourne,
Yep.
and I was like, this ain't shit compared to like Through Fire and Flames, which was like the be all end all of complicated technical songs. Um, no, there were a lot of the like optional tracks you could buy in the store on Guitar Hero 2 that I must have that I must have bought and then paid and then actually like went and LimeWired those, and I was like, these are so awesome, because there was that one song by like the band called Drist, and I was like, dude, this is badass, and I LimeWired like stupid amounts of like death metal and stuff like Arch Enemy and stuff, and I would like listen to them. It was like at school at the time, like in high school when we were doing like our like papers and shit, we could listen to music and stuff kind of. While we were like typing our papers on those old Apple laptops.
Oh my
And
gosh.
man, oh, those were such good times.
You've
But yeah,
you've said so many things that I want to talk about now.
go for it. I mean, we can.
LimeWire. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, dude.
LimeWire. Because kids listening, you didn't have instant access to any song you wanted whenever you wanted it. You had to
Oh
illegally
no, you did
you had to
not.
illegally download it off of LimeWire and just hope that you actually got the song that you thought you were getting. There were
No,
there were so many
we could buy
times
it.
where and then I had to put it on my MP3 player because phones didn't play music back then.
Mm-hmm.
Phones were just phones. And
You know, the MP3 player that was like the size of a bar of soap.
yeah, yeah. And didn't actually have a screen, even though it's that big. It just had like an LCD panel that would scroll, and all of your music wouldn't say the right artist or song because you can't change that.
Oh
But
yeah, no album art either. It was
no,
just the
no.
song.
Um, I had one song, a Sum 41 song. I'm not sure what happened, if it was the person uploading it or me downloading it, but it had like Windows error sounds throughout it, and that like got imprinted in my brain that I can still hear the Windows error sounds when they came up in that LimeWire version.
That's
It's a
awesome.
horrible curse.
Wish you still had that song. I'd listen to that.
It was only like two times throughout the song, but it's still in my head every time. And there are so many times where I downloaded an entire album of music off of LimeWire, and then as an adult, I go back to that album and I find songs that were missing from when I downloaded
Yep.
before. And it's like I'm hearing new music that I should have heard decades ago, and I'm like, what is this? This was on this album. I've listened to this album my whole life and never had any idea.
And then LimeWire would just blast your like if you downloaded the wrong thing, it would shotgun blast your computer with all sorts of like malware and shit. Like you would be
Yeah.
like oh here's all that remains and their album whatever, and I'd be like yes, and then you downloaded it and it wasn't MP3s at all. It was like some kind of like what the hell was it like. Oh, .rar is an audio file. I forget what the hell it was, but what file type those were. But you download it, and you'd be like, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Terrifying.
download that. I'm gonna restart my computer.
I hope that my parents don't find out what I did.
Gosh.
my
Um.
my dad burned a CD with like a bunch of country songs and stuff, and that was
Nice.
the only CD he ever listened to when we made a trip everywhere. The same 10 songs for like my entire middle school life whenever we went anywhere.
Hell yeah, dude. Please tell me it had what was the song? The she thinks my tractor's sexy.
No, no,
Remember that?
no. He
Damn it.
no.
Damn it.
That's such. Oh my gosh. Why would you? Why?
I only know that because the school bus that I took to and from school in high school, it only ever played country music.
Yep.
Um, and I remember, like, I don't think I really ever cared for country music. I still kind of don't, but
Hmm.
like, I mostly just tolerate it now. But I used to have this like CD Walkman. That's back in
Oh yeah.
good old 2009. I had this Nickelback album. I think it was like one of their first ones. It was like Silver Side
Silver
Up or
Side Up,
something.
baby.
Yeah, dude. I would jam out to that all the time
I
on the
will
bus.
still
Like,
defend that album. That's a good album. They Nickelback definitely got worse throughout time, but that first album, they were like, we're a rock band making rock music.
yeah, dude, and like they how was that called? It had Never Again.
Too bad.
Yep, yep. There's another one. No, maybe that is too bad. Good as a wise man.
Oh,
Um,
the main
is that
song.
too bad?
No, that's not too bad. How You Remind Me.
There we go. Yep. Um, and then eventually my dad got me an iPod, and I never had a computer that had newer than Windows 98, so I couldn't put music on it. So I had to do it all at school, and it was other people's music, and it was like all Avenged Sevenfold and like
Oh yeah.
um, what else was there?
Bat Country, man. That was like the song of my high school.
Yeah, Bat Country. Holy shit, that whole CD I listened to like front and back in high
Yep.
school. Oh my gosh, what was it called? It's also had Beast and the Harlot,
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Thrashed
hold
and
on.
Scattered.
Hold on.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have an
Right.
embarrassing story that I've never told anyone in regards to Beast and the Harlot. So like I discovered at some point that like I'm sure you were in this group too that we were all like, oh man, we all like Avenged Sevenfold, and I like listened to Beast and the Harlot a bunch, and like it was important to me to learn the lyrics. I hate not knowing the lyrics to songs when I first listened to them, and I finally got all of Beast and the Harlot down, and I was so excited. I went to one of the guys in our grade, Ron, and
Yeah.
and I told him I was like, dude, I actually got the lyrics to Beast and the Harlot memorized, and he like looked at me so confused and was like, okay. And I was like, oh no, I'm being weird. Am I being weird right now? Is that not something that people are proud of? And I've remembered that shame for the rest of my life.
I remember when I got that, like I got that CD from what was it called? FYE? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
FYE
Mm.
at the mall in Sioux Falls, like
Yep.
a long, long time ago. When I was like looking at the lyrics for all of their songs, and then I saw like a picture of every member of the band all together, and I learned like all of their names finally, and their guitar was like Sinister Gates, but it was spelled like SYNYSTYR or something like that, and I was like, I don't want to listen to this anymore.
um, gosh, there were so many things. I had a Walkman as well in early middle school or whatever, and it was it had this new technology called anti-skip or anti-bump or whatever
Oh
because
yeah.
because kids when you're riding the bus and listening to a CD, if you roll over a stick on that bus, your CD is going to skip.
That's
And
right.
my CD somehow like had like anti-skip technology, and I remember showing my friends. I was like, "Look, you could shake it. The music keeps playing. You could shake it, and the music still plays." And it was, I was so cool. I was so cool.
I'm
Um,
just, I'm imagining middle school Tommy, like, you can shake it! Just screaming, you can
yeah,
shake it! And you're fucking shaking up and down. Oh,
yeah.
man.
I only bought like 4 CDs in my life. The first 2 Nickelback albums, Jet.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember Jet.
Was that? Oh, yeah, they played, like, Are You Gonna Be My Girl?
Yep, yep.
And, like, two other hit songs.
Metallica, Death Magnetic, which I'll tell you about that in a second. And then along those lines, Black Eyed Peas. I had the first Black Eyed Peas album.
That was, like, I think the first CD I ever owned, I got for Christmas when I was 10? No, 10 or 11. And it was a Backstreet Boys CD. I forget
Nice.
which one it was.
I had the
Jeez.
cassette soundtrack of Space Jam. Oh man.
Nice. That's a
Whoa.
good one.
Wow. But Death Magnetic. So you know, like when you get a CD and it actually had the lyrics inside,
Yeah.
the Death Magnetic book on the inside, it was a casket and it was cut out into the book all the way to the bottom, which
Yep.
is a super cool visual. I loved it. But when you open up to look at the lyrics, you can't read them because there's a giant hole throughout the entire book. So you can't read the lyrics.
I remember that now. You're unlocking so many core memories.
Oh, I've got another one after you said iPod. So at prom, this would have been junior year.
Which one?
Junior year prom.
Mhm.
I and my group of friends entered all of our tickets from post prom to win Dance Dance Revolution for the Nintendo Wii, which I owned. I had the community Nintendo Wii in Ireton that everyone would play.
Community Wii.
It literally was. That's gosh. Now that I think about it, yeah, so many people came over to. Anyways, and I won. We won it, and I was like, cool. I've never played Dance Dance Revolution. I'm sure this will be fun. And someone was like, oh man, I won this iPod Mini, but I already have an iPod. And I was like, I'll trade you. Do you want this Dance Dance Revolution for Nintendo Wii? And they were like, sure. And I was like, cool, because I'd never had an iPod before. It was the little iPod Shuffle that didn't even have the screen. And so I went to my group of friends. And I was like, look, guys, I got an iPod. It's an iPod. And they were so mad at me. They were like, but we put all of our tickets into this. Well, no, they didn't put their tickets. They wrote my name on their tickets. So in my head, I was like, we don't know whose ticket it was that won, but it was my name regardless. So I wanted to trade for this. And I understand now as an adult, that was a really shitty thing for me to do. But I had an iPod.
No. Hang on. No, you got an iPod up, but it's fine.
Yeah, it was cool.
All I remember from post prom is playing a ton of Guitar Hero. No, they had Rock Band.
They had Rock Band, yeah. Oh, that was.
Played,
Ooh, sorry, go on.
and I played Danny California, and it's like what was that? It was a song about like a mountain. It was either by a mountain or it's a song about a mountain. Mississippi Queen.
Ah,
Yeah,
that
that's
could
what
be,
it
yeah.
was. Yeah, I played that for some reason, and all I remember.
That was one of my coolest moments in high school, of which there were very few. I was playing drums on a song, and Jose was trying to sing, and he was doing terrible. And I was like, dude, we're gonna fail the song. Hold the microphone up to my mouth. And I sang the song and drummed the whole time through the whole song.
Nice, dude.
Oh, so cool.
Oh god, that's super cool.
I just
I'm
want
not,
to.
I'm not gonna say that sarcastically. That is awesome.
No, yeah, I know. I felt super cool then. I can never sing in front of people.
Yeah.
If you put me in a group of people, I can sing, but I hate singing alone in front of people. I won't even sing in the car with my wife in the car because I just can't do it.
I feel that, yeah.
I want to paint a picture for everyone. Middle school dances in rural Iowa is 50 to 100 white people dancing to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys on repeat. And then Fishing in the Dark followed up by that.
Yep. Fishing in the. Oh my god. Oh, and then the daily announcements always had that one Flow Rider song where it was like apple bottom jeans for some
Yes.
reason.
Yep.
Like they wouldn't let me play Rage Against the Machine, but they'd let people play fucking what was that part of the song?
Apple bottom jeans, boots with
Boots
the fur,
with
the whole.
I was looking at her. You get the phone. Next thing you know, baggy sweatpants and all that shit. I couldn't play Down Rodeo by Rage Against the Machine, but they could play fucking Flow Rida. I think that's who that played that song anyway.
Yep, it is. I
okay.
literally Googled that no more than 2 days ago.
Okay.
I interned at the radio station in Sioux Center for a summer, and this was, the top song at the time was Gives You Hell by All American Rejects.
Oh, yeah.
We were not allowed to play that song because it had the word hell in it, and we didn't want to offend our Christian listeners. Even though it was a top 40 station, I should specify that. It was a top 40 station, and we were not allowed to play Gives You Hell because it said hell.
But that word's in the Bible
It is in the Bible,
multiple times.
but you don't talk about it.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was a stupid thing for me to say.
How dare you? We probably shouldn't be talking about this right now. Our Christian listeners,
I'm sorry, Christian
they're turning it
listeners.
off right now.
Yeah, they're unsubscribing because we've said hell many times. Um, oh man, and then I remember when we're gonna keep going with Guitar Hero. It's our podcast. Sue us. No, please don't actually. No. So I remember when Guitar Hero 3 first came out, and a good buddy of mine, Brandon, he always came to his dad's in Chatsworth like every other weekend, and he would always come over to my house. Um, we played the absolute piss out of Guitar Hero on co-op, and we'd take turns being like lead guitar and bass. And we got to Holiday in Cambodia. I think it was like Dead Kennedys. We got to Holiday in Cambodia, and like the lead guitar part was just way too hard. Because you had to like rapidly strum like those like
Da, da,
like
da,
on
da,
expert
da,
anyway.
da, 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 yeah.
But what did we do? We both would like we would both hold the strum thing on the lead guitar, and we just beat the absolute piss out of it to try to pass that part. And
Oh, that
that was
sounds
good
awful.
times.
That sounds awful.
It
Oh,
was awful. Yeah.
speaking of Guitar Hero 3 influencing my musical taste, there were a
Mhm.
lot of songs on Guitar Hero 3 that were covers, but oh, excuse me. I'm just going to say
No,
that
it's all
sentence
good.
again. There were a lot of songs on Guitar Hero 3 that were covers, and those were my only times listening to those songs. And so, like, whenever I would hear them in the future, whether it be like on the radio randomly or something, it broke my brain hearing the real versions because I was so used to the Guitar Hero 3 cover singer. Especially
that's fun.
Holiday in Cambodia is a huge one. Like, I hear it when I hear that song, it's the Guitar Hero 3 version, which apparently people say is horrible.
I think yeah, I think they also there was another popular one. It was oh, what's the name?
Slow Ride was a cover.
It was like I love my baby like the finest wine. Da-na-na-na-na.
I do not know what song you're
It's
singing.
my sweet little thing or something like that.
I'm gonna look up the list of songs.
She's my sweet little thing. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, my pride and joy. I think it's my pride and joy.
Oh yeah, yep.
Was that? I feel like that was a cover too, because it didn't
Yes,
sound.
it was a cover. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay.
That's one of the ones that people said was
Stevie Ray
horrible
Vaughan,
too.
yes. But they had, I think, didn't they have optional songs that were not covers? 'Cause I feel like the one Kill Switch Engage song was not a cover.
Yep, yeah. It was by Guitar Hero 3. It was like 50-50 real songs and covers.
Yeah, there was. They had Kill Switch Engage as one of the optional songs, which was really good. I still listen to Kill Switch to this very day. I'm gonna look that up real
There's
fast. What
I'm
else
just
is there?
yeah I'm just going through this playlist and there's tons of songs. It was my first introduction to the Strokes, Reptilia, and
I still listen to them too.
I don't know if you're aware, but I was named after Tommy Lee, the drummer from Motley Crue. My name's Tommy Lee, right? My last name.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
my-
actually that's cool.
Yeah, my parents, they originally wanted to do Steven Tyler for my name from Aerosmith, but we already had a Steven in the family. So they went with their backup, which was Tommy Lee. And so I've always been like, I'm going to do the same thing for my kid. And so the name that's always, or the band that's always stuck with me the longest is the Strokes. So I've been dead set that I'm going to name my first son Julian after the Strokes lead singer Julian Casablancas.
Man, yep, I also still listen to the Strokes. Those are good. Oh, and they have that one In Flames song.
Yeah.
Entire discography. I still listen. In Flames is still like my favorite band.
One by Metallica.
There we go.
I love that song before then, but
Come on, Aaron, think. Oh yeah, Helicopter by Block
Block
Party.
Party, yeah. That's one of the ones where I was like, oh, this is a great song. Let me check out the rest of the music, and the rest of the music never clicked with me.
I feel the same way. There's like maybe like a couple of other good songs they had on some of their other albums, but like some of it was just like Banquet. That's look up Banquet by
Yep,
Block Party. That's a
yep,
good one.
that is a good one. I'll admit.
Oh, Tommy.
Yeah,
Were you a Miss Murder by AFI fan?
I wasn't. It was super popular with the certain crowd of people at our school that I was friends with, and they overplayed it.
Really? Oh man, that was a good one.
It is.
It's still good.
Man, so
Ooh,
many.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh man, Paint It Black. I was obsessed with Paint It Black.
Oh, yep. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. That was a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It's the best. It's the best set list of Guitar Hero / Rock Band songs.
That really was. I think Guitar Hero 4 or whatever came after that like had some good one. Nothing will ever beat Guitar Hero 3 though.
Guitar Hero 4 had Hotel California, which is really cool. Man, Guitar Hero 5 came out in 2009.
Holy cow! Wait, which one? Which one am I thinking of the right one? It had that one song. I can't even think of it right now. Hang on, let me find it. It's not on tour. I think that was the fourth one, right?
Yeah, fourth was on
Five.
tour. Five was.
Is the one that I'm thinking of.
I didn't like 5 because they were like, you can get up to 9 stars on a song.
Oh yeah, it had fucking that 21st Century Schizoid man. That was weird.
Was there a Guitar Hero 6?
Probably.
Yeah, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock.
Oh, and they had Children of Bodom and Darkest Hour on that. That's right. Dude, and that fucking Space Hog song. Holy shit, that was good. Man, holy cow.
I want to look up. I'm trying to find something real quick because it was insane how over flooded they were. they just made way too many games in way too short of a time. Let's
They
see.
really did. And then, oh man, and I think it was Guitar Hero 5. You could unlock the like ghost of Kurt Cobain or some shit.
Oh no.
I don't think it was a ghost. I think you actually just unlocked him as like a playable character, but like that was, I mean, that was alright. It was just Kurt Cobain.
From 2005 to 2010, so the span of 5 to 6 years, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Oh
21 different Guitar Hero games in the span of 5 to 6 years.
oh shit! Is that still kind of like the different like little spin-off
The
ones? Like,
spin-offs, the band games, the on tour.
oh my god. Oh, that's entirely too many.
It is. It
No
is.
wonder they went bankrupt.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, that's I just on the same vein as Guitar Hero 3, I did want to give a shout out to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for having every song in the history of video games. And it's just really cool that you can just go in there and play them whenever you want.
Oh yeah, and you can also make a playlist of songs.
Yeah.
And then you could like kind of put your Switch to sleep, kind of, and it's still playing like an MP3 player. Like that was pretty cool. It did have a lot of badass songs. And speaking of songs from Guitar, or not, damn, that was almost a good transition. Speaking of good songs from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the last soundtrack I had was from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 because they both had really badass soundtracks. If you ever get back on Smash Bros. Ultimate, what is it? I think it's just Battle ! Exclamation point from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That fucker slaps. I'm trying to materialize it in my head. And then it goes with the guitar like oh my god. Oh, it's so good.
Sounds very slappy, very slaptastical.
It super slaps the bass, dude. Holy shit.
I have one more game I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna ask your opinion first before I give you my opinion. When
Okay,
it
I'm ready.
when it comes to music from Pokemon, what how do I say this? What era do you prefer?
Um, I've always been a really huge fan of Gen 3. Um, but Gen 7 also had some really good ones. Like for those of you who don't know, Gen 3 was like Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald. 7 would be
Trumpets.
like Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but yes, Sun and Moon had some really super duper good songs too.
For me, my top Pokemon music, which it could be because I played the game for 1,000 hours, is Pokemon Gold and Silver. Um,
Yeah.
if I probably have every chiptune song memorized in my head, and I just can't get into newer Pokemon game music just because it's like actual music where Pokemon Gold and Silver, I don't know, is I just like the chiptune songs way more. It's funny you mentioned Gen 3 because that's where it started losing me. That's where it actually you could hear different instruments and like I said the trumpets, and it just doesn't do the same stuff for me.
I remember. Oh man, I remember in sorry, my throat's all messed up. I remember in the days of Pokemon Gold and Silver, I used to think I was like the Pokemon master, and people will come up to me and ask me like, "Hey, how do you catch so and so?" And I'd be like, "Hey, motherfucker, you find him here. You can also find him here at night." And I remember one of our mutual friends, William, he asked me, "Hey, how do you catch?" I think it was like Lugia in the Gold version. I was like, "Oh, my friend, I made this up like on the spot because I was a young kid and I didn't know you couldn't catch Lugia in Gold." And I'd be like, "You have to have a Rainbow Wing and then go to the Rainbow Islands, which you unlock after you beat both the Johto and Kanto region or something." And he was like, "Oh, thanks." And then, God, I was so cool. Not.
But I'm 90% sure you can catch Lugia on Gold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very okay. Yeah, according to GameFAQs.com, yeah, it's you can catch both of them. It'll be level 70 instead of 45. Yeah, you can totally you might have accidentally told him the right thing.
Shit. Maybe I am a Pokemon master.
um, we can definitely talk about this another time because it's a potential topic later. But I think Pokemon Gold and Silver is one of the best sequels to a game ever made, just because it improves on so many things. Oh my gosh, everything is better. Where
We'll talk about it later.
yeah.
But I have so many of the fucking songs from that game just popped into my head. Like the big like Goldenrod City, like at
hmm
nighttime especially. That's it's in my head. Can't materialize it right now though. I'm sorry,
when
listeners.
when I was in college and I would bike to class, I would listen to the bike theme for Pokemon Gold. Did you ever see? This is completely unrelated to anything else. The how someone accidentally found a huge speed running exploit in Pokemon Red and Blue with the bike.
I I didn't. What the hell did they do?
So a guy who's not any like I'm not gonna say not. He was a speed runner for Pokemon Red and Blue, but not like one of the top ones. When
Yeah,
obviously you want to get the bike because you can move faster throughout the world.
yeah.
When he went to the store and offered the voucher, he accidentally said no. And then from that point on in the game, whenever he would talk to anyone, the text wouldn't scroll, it just instantly filled, which saved time throughout the rest of the run. And so people figured. No, he still bought the bike after that, but whenever you would talk to anyone, the text was automatically filled in instead of scrolling, so you didn't need to wait for the text to scroll. It was like a huge change in the Pokemon Red and Blue speedrunning by this guy accidentally saying no to something.
That is. I had no idea. Again, yeah, I must not be a Pokemon master.
Well, no, Ash Ketchum is a Pokemon master. Someday he's gonna win the league, the Elite Four. Did you? Okay, Did you ever watch Pokemon the cartoon growing up?
I did. I did, and I was actually about to call you out there because Ash lost so many Pokemon leagues. He won like the Alola region one, I think, but he lost so many others. So he is not a true Pokemon. I could beat Ash for sure, man.
He tried to punch Mewtwo though, which was pretty cool. What channel was it on for you? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was Kids WB.
I have no idea why we didn't get that channel in Ireton. I never was able to watch Pokemon because we never got the channel.
Oh, so we barely got it in Chatsworth. The only reason I got it was because, and kids, this was in the day. You might maybe have a pair of antennas for your TV, but back in the day, TV was analog, and it didn't always show up crisp and clear. Sometimes it could be like barely visible. But I had a pair of antennas that for some reason had a pretty goddamn long cord, and I would drag it like halfway across my room, and I would just like prop it up on a bunch of like strategy guides and shit that I had, like a far corner of my room. But yeah, that's the only way I got it.
I had to settle for watching Card Captors on Fox.
Uh, no, Fox had Digimon though too. I mean, he didn't
Oh
have
yeah.
it like
Oh, I
all
watched
the
Digimon. Yeah. I don't have many times that I can bring up Card Captors.
it's apparently it's huge in Japan.
Shut up. Card Captors? Oh my gosh, my
Yeah,
voice.
that's all good. That happens to me too. The way Card Captors is huge in Japan apparently.
It was only what? No.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Um. What else did Fox? Oh man, we might have to save this for another time too. I could go on and on about this, but like, I remember when Fox Kids rebranded to the Fox Box, and they had fighting foodons, and that's what my Abby is on Twitter right now. Hot dog on it because that show is awful. People would like cook food and turn it into a fighting monster, and so food would be fighting basically. And hot dog on it would just be like hot dog on it, and he had like mustard and ketchup with revolver guns. Oh my god.
Wow. What a.
So for you listeners, hit me up on Twitter so you can see what hot dog on it looks like. I can also tweet you other fighting foodons facts and other Fox Box facts because I was there for that shit.
And follow Superpod Saga on Twitter too. I set a goal of reaching 1,000 likes for a certain topic, and we came up only 999 likes short. With your help,
Oh,
we can reach that goal.
um, yeah, I did not have any more games written down. I mean, was there anything else you wanted to chat about?
No, that was it. I Yes, that was all the games that I had. Those are all the games that had good music. Every other game
That's it.
had bad music.
Listeners, you're welcome to recommend more. I'll put another question on the episode once it's posted. You can answer it if you want to. Again, you're welcome to recommend more soundtracks, but they're far significant to the ones that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Just kidding, they're really not. We
Yeah.
love you.
You can email
And
superpodsaga@gmail.com with music or suggestions for topics we could talk about.
oh yeah, so you can also join the Super Pod Saga Facebook page. You can follow us on there. I'm still figuring out how to add people to the group so that everybody can talk about video games. But Facebook is like, no, I'm only gonna automatically invite people who react to your post. And I mean, so react to the posts, so you can be invited to the group, I guess.
Yeah. Facebook is a mess, but join it anyways.
Right, yeah.
If Google Plus still existed, we would make a Google Plus account that you could follow.
Ooh, yeah, we'll make a MySpace.
MySpace still exists. We could make a MySpace. Could we make a
We should.
MySpace? We have
Super
to.
Pod Saga, we're gonna bring back MySpace.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna do this after. Yeah. Oh man, I could say
Tommy,
so many things about
Tommy,
MySpace. Yeah.
we can make a playlist of all sorts of video game
Oh my
songs
gosh.
on MySpace.
Oh, this is perfect. You're gonna have to tune in next week to hear how that adventure goes. Would you like to know the topic for next week?
I'm eagerly awaiting. I'm sweating with anticipation. Tommy, what is it?
Oh, I haven't even put deodorant on yet this morning, so I'm super sweating. Um, I had a topic in mind, but then you brought up something else in our personal chat, so I was like, oh, this is too perfect. My mind's racing now. We got to do it. Next week, we are going to discuss the best weapons in video games. The
I've
coolest, most stylish, fanciest weapons.
I've got so many in mind already. I'm ready for this one.
Me too. I'm actually going to have to start writing them down so I don't forget. So,
Yeah.
tune in next week to hear about the best weapons in gaming and see how our MySpace page is going. Otherwise, thank you all. Thank you all, beautiful listeners, for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.